Hey guys, Eric Polillo here, teacher of the Genfu School of Martial Arts. Today I shall teach you how to stretch and warm up properly in my school. Because a lot of people get stretching and warm up wrong as in coming to martial arts because they don't know how to do it. And it's so hard to explain because martial arts words get out of order to the people and it's hard to learn them all. So, simply said, I'm going to guide you step by step on how to stretch and warm up in this video. I'll be moving the camera around a lot too. So first, start with the basics. I'm going to place the camera right here, facing this wall. Okay. So first, stretching. When it comes to stretching, you have to be able to release energy. Energy, the word, is important in my school. You come to know this. So stretching is the release of energy. To release energy in stretching. So first, focus on your legs. Feel any pent up energy, any cramps. Any pent up energy or cramps. Sorry about that. So for example, I feel some stretch right here. To stretch that, I would pull it, see if that releases it. If it doesn't, I will stretch towards it, see if that releases it. That's a different type of pull to my leg. I would try different things like clenching it, stretching another part of my legs. Maybe that gives it power to release it. And other stretches as well. Maybe that works. Trying extremes, like for example the splits, to see if I could release it. And that feels like it released. It is energy that has been released. And the warm-up part of this martial arts is the flow of energy. So first I teach you energy releasing in the first martial arts. And I mean in the stretching. Energy releasing in the stretching. Sorry. In stretching you learn to release energy from locks. Locks all around your body, whether it is stresses, cramps, clenched energy, compounded together, how to release energy. So stretching is energy releasing. Warm-ups is flow of energy. Make your energy flow throughout your body on a constant movement. Energy flow. So stretching, you can do anything to release the energy. I'm going to show you a couple, and I'm going to explain the energy release as well. I'm doing it. So this one, I'm focusing on the whole back part of my legs. Whatever I feel will guide me to my next stretches. Like the back of my knees, I will feel stretched right now. So I will stretch that part to see if I could release energy. If my calves were to be feeling that way, I would reach lower. Back of my knees, I would bend over more. If it were my thighs, I would try to hold it to my toes. Now release that energy. And moving on to the next stretches. Those are straight stretches, straight leg stretches. These are side lunges, as they are known. I like to call them side stretches because it's easy to call them that. That stretches this whole part of your leg on the leg that is out. and the inner part of your hip on that leg that is bent over. Sorry about that, I had to pause it. But when you're stretching side lunges or side stretches, like I like to call them, you're stretching the inner part of the long reach leg, the leg that's reaching out, and the inner hip right by the crotch area of your other foot. So if you switch over, now you're stretching the inner part of this leg, literally stretching it entirely, making sure it's good. Then the inner hip of your other leg. That is what you're stretching. So to release that energy, you have to hit these stretches. Next stretch I like to do is to work my way out into the splits. So first is the side reaches. I call these side reaches because you reach to one foot. So you reach both hands to the ankle of one foot. Right here you are stretching the back of your knee and a little bit of the inner part of your knee. This part and this part, both of them. So that's stretching two parts of your knee, the back and the inside. Same on this side. It feels a little different here because you use your legs differently. One is left side and one's the right side. One is used mostly with balance, the other one's used mostly with power. So the back of the knee and the inside of the knee. And that's how you release that energy. And then is the side kick stretches. That's what I call them. This is how you do those. Let's see. So side kick stretches, you are stretching the legs in a way that you are stretching the legs in a way that you are committing to a side kick. So they look like a side kick. This is what it looks like. A side kick stretch. You're in a side kick position and you're opening your legs as much as possible in a split position by moving the lower leg more or having a higher platform. I had to move this leg way this way because I'm in a low platform. But if I had a high platform, I can put my leg way up and have this one straight down. But since this platform is low, this leg has to go more out to feel it. Once you feel this stretch, you will notice that it's the inward parts of your hips. So you're stretching the pelvis area on the inside of the hips, so the crotch area, on both sides. Now on one side, you're stretching it to release along that way. On this side, you're stretching to release a hold of energy. So the energy is able to hold on the bottom leg and release on the stretching leg. Now you switch, the energy switch. So to release this energy, it's the exact same thing, but opposite now. So if you say that one side can stretch both sides, your energy is wrong. So you have to switch sides and stretch that way too. So you're stretching the inside of your hips in both sides. And that's how you release that energy. So before I go full on to the splits, I like to pause right there, catch my cool a little bit, and go into butterfly stretches. These you learn in schools growing up. I learned it in school at first, then in martial arts later. Sports that I joined didn't really want to do this stretch because they thought it was girly. But in martial arts, it is necessary to be able to kick. So, the butterfly stretch. I'm sure you know what it is since you learned it in school, but it is putting your feet together in cross leg position, but flat foot to flat foot, and pushing your knees as low as you can to the ground. Make sure you put both legs as closest to your body as possible to get a maximum effect. And that pretty much releases the energy from the joints of your pelvises. The little ball that connects to your foot, your leg, to the bones, basically the leg bone to the pelvis bone, the hip bones, the little ball on the inside. That's what you're stretching with this. And that's the energy you're releasing. There's two ways to do it. The way I was just doing it with my hands on my knees, then this way. People are used to this way, which is pushing your knees all the way to the floor as much as possible and releasing that energy. That way you can rotate your leg in many directions. And there's also the far reach, which I don't usually do, but that's more for your back. And that's another stretch entirety. So, now that I did that, I'm gonna move to the splits. The splits, there's one way of doing it, but you can do it in 3 ways. What I mean by that is when you start off the split, you're coming down, this leg starts to go up, that one, this one starts to bend outwards, and you're moving to a straight motion. Once you get that full stretch in this motion, make sure energy releases and rotate to this leg up, that leg up, this leg outwards, and get that energy release too. And now that you did that, put both legs straight down, and let yourself slide down. And make sure you get that energy release. And that's how you do the full splits. 3 motions to get one effect. And what you stretch there is the reach of a side kick. So you're stretching the outside, inside, the whole effect to a side kick. And that is the splits. So that's basically how you stretch your legs out. And that's maximally all you need for martial arts kicks. To get extra effects, you do a forward stretch. Like put your legs straight on top of a cabinet, straight up, and then reach for it. Put your leg backwards on top of a cabinet and reach straight out. Different types of stretches, like this kind of stretch, the straight down stretch. Trying to think of other ones, but you get the point. Like the ones I showed you are how to release the full energy of your legs. The feet and ankles don't have so many energy releases because they're always flat on the ground, and they're mostly for grip on the ground, as in balance holds. They're not for the movement or push of energy. That's where you need to release your energy from, the part that moves and pushes. So the next stretching is the chest, stomach, and back areas. I like this school to stretch from down all the way up and to warm up from your core all the way out. So the core would be at first when you warm up, then the arms, and then the legs. But for stretching, it's down to up. And this is how. This is how you stretch your core, your whole torso area, I guess you can call it. Your upper body, and your core. So to stretch this, there's first one, the back stretch. How you stretch your back? You twist. You have your legs straight while you twist your back to a wall. You reach. You reach to see as far as you can get. You would like to feel your back loosen, and that is the energy release. Feel your back loosen, and you're done with that. That's the energy release. Next is the sky reach. To reach to the sky, you stretch your lower back and your stomach. Straight legs, straight hands, reach to the sky. And that releases stomach and lower back. It's another energy release. So then, another one, the star stretch. You reach out with all limbs, even your head, as far as possible. And that releases energy and the whole core of your torso. All of that gets stretched and released in energy. Then we have the back stretch, backward stretch, where you put your elbows straight up and you reach back with your stomach bent, your back bent backwards, and that's a stretch. That stretches your middle back, your chest at the, don't want to say breast, I forgot the name of that muscle, but that's what it stretches, the chest at the breast, the muscle part. And in the meanwhile, it stretches your arms a little bit to prepare for the arm stretches. But it can stretch your neck too, but it's mostly meant for your back and your chest. So then you have the reach over stretches. These are necessary in life because with your work energy and the stuff you do in life, you need these stretches to release that energy. If it gets pent up, it can make you frustrated. So this is a reach over stretch. People like to do this to release energy used at work or other situations because it pents up. Stretches your hip out all the way through your gut, and your shoulders stretch too. Other direction does the exact same thing. And that's how you release that energy. So you got those. Now is the two stretches that people don't usually do in real life, in normal life. I mean, they do in martial arts. It is a downwards reach of your hands up. So it's a upward reach of your hands and a downwards bend. So your hands are up and you're bent downwards. And this stretches your chest out. Your lower back stretching in a different way than before, but your chest is what you're stretching here. And that gives you movement of your chest. A lot of movement in your chest. Next, the opposite of that, which is you put your hands together in a cross form and you reach down to stretch your lower back. And meanwhile, you're kind of stretching your back muscles too, the upper back muscles, the two shoulders, the arm reaches, the shoulder pads or whatever. They're in the back, the upper part of your back. You're stretching that, and it releases all your lower back energy. And that's the full stretch. So doing all of that, you basically stretch your whole torso, your middle part of your body, without the legs and arms. Last and finally are the arm stretches. These you could use a wall for. You could do it on your own if you feel it out. That is to, first you want to release your arm, your shoulder stretches, your shoulder energy, I mean, by shoulder stretching. That's against a wall. Put your hand on a wall. You get closest to the wall as possible, and you stretch your shoulder. And while you're stretching your shoulder, go ahead and stretch your whole arm. That is how you release all that shoulder energy, the inward part of your shoulder. That helps with destroyers. The punch, the straight punch. Then the next one is this one. You put your hand straight up and you move downwards or against the wall too. And that pretty much stretches the inner parts of your arms, shoulders. So the joints of your shoulders, the inside of your arms. So you're releasing energy from the inside of your arms. And that's a release off. Same on the other side. Once you feel the energy release, you'll know it. It's the pain going away and the energy feels like it's there now. So, to choose on that, opposite of the first ones I showed you are these. You reach across, you bring your hand like this over your other hand, and you pull your arm. And that stretches this part, the muscles of your, where the energy comes for your muscles. That's what's releasing this time. Your arm muscles. So, both hands, you have to do it. Releases that energy. And now that you've done that, all that's left is the bottom section to complete all four directions. Back, forward, up, and then a down one. But you don't have to do the down one. The down one is extra. It's not really an energy release of the arms. It really just releases energy right here, but that's not necessary for normal movement in martial arts. I'll show you what it looks like. You reach down, you stretch that. It's more of a warm-up, kind of. But those three directions, how you stretch your arm. You can do an elbow stretch too, which is put your hand in an upwards elbow position and stretch it backwards. You could do this stretch too. Stretches your shoulder out. This one too. Upwards elbow stretch. What is important. And that's it for the arm stretches, which pretty much concludes all the stretching. You can go the extra mile after stretches and warm-ups and warm up the full body all together, or stretch the full body all together. How to do that? Be creative. Reach for the sky as furthest possible. Stretch with a full reach of the full body. Hit a splits at the same time you're stretching your arms. Be creative. So that's the stretching part. I'm going to split the video into twos to make it a warm-up video too. Thank you for watching this stretching video. I hope you learned something about energy.